So he's around, brother, inshallah. So he's going to be around for a long time.
So, but any questions at any time that you want to ask? Like, but the first thing is, like we said, you know, the person who made it, there's actually a beautiful explanation.
I feel a purity now. I feel a purity with this. I feel with Christian, and I'm not just anything with anyone, but I've been around my ex-girlfriend. She's Greek, and her sister and brother were very strong Christians, and I found that it was a repetition that they pushed on me. It was the repetition of the words that just went around, and I wanted to actually go deeper and find a reason behind the words.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything about Christianity.
That's
what I'm saying is I just want the purity behind it. I'm not saying anything about anyone. Sorry.
My sister is a full blood. There's nothing in the world anyway.
Yeah.
There's only God and that's it.
Yeah.
We all breathe in the same oxygen. There's only one sound.
You know, when you were saying
Sharing everything.
interpretation
You
is
feel
very
the same
important.
Yeah.
The whole Bible is open to interpretations, and that's where the problem started, and that's where the problems end up, because there's 50,000 different interpreters of this Bible, 50,000 different denominations, and every single one claims to be the truth. So out of 50,000, I have the truth. He has the truth. Yeah. Which one is the truth? Then it becomes all complicated because everyone's trying to interpret, because they don't have a guideline. But the Quran, you will find the same Quran is being read everywhere in the world, and everyone's agreeing to the one particular facts, and the foundations are the same, and everything is exactly identical, but you're a unique human being. So the miraculousness of this Quran, this revelation from God, that it is the last testament from God, is that it is able to fulfill a person like yourself. It is able to fulfill the businessman, the person who's a taxi driver, the person who's a great scholar, the person who is very poor, very rich, the king of the world, and who doesn't matter who you are, what your level of education
is. 1455 years ago, right? 1400 odd years ago, this book was revealed, right? And look at us, we're talking about something so intricate that even scientists today, in our topics normally, even scientists today sit here, and doctors today and professors from the Bond University, which we're sitting at today, come here sometimes and listen to in wonderment. We're talking about a book 1450 years ago that's refreshed itself.
How do we know that it's not been changed?
The original is still there.
Okay.
Yeah, the original is still on leather and on rocks and everything. It's all
I've actually went and saw it myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the original is still available in museums and stuff like that. So the original is available.
One of the most
Plus one of the miracles of the Quran.
It's been memorized.
Very easily memorized, even though it's 6,000 over 6,000 ayahs, like paragraphs, let's say,
Yeah.
6,600 paragraphs. There's
Word for word is memorized.
thousands of kids right now,
kids.
6, 7, 8, 10-year-old kids even, that know it word for word, the whole thing,
What language is it written in?
in Arabic.
Do I need to learn Arabic?
This guy's quick, man. 15 years I didn't.
First you start off with the English, and then you can, if you want to, you can start learning Arabic and
might as well.
understand it.
This guy's thirsty, man. Give him a glass of water.
If you get in the seven C's, he wouldn't be full. He's got
There's
thirst for
another
knowledge.
another friend.
You know what? It shows open-heartedness, and I was saying that to
Allah,
you before. It shows not narrow-mindedness, it shows broad-mindedness, and that's what I liked about him when I first met him as well.
That's right.
That's the most important part. He's open to ideas, open to suggestions, whether it be in business and everything else. It's very important, even in the business world. Whether it be in your spiritual being, to be able to be open and clean and understanding and open to suggestions. It's the whole part of it, isn't it?
I feel great.
Hopefully you'll feel greater and greater.
There is so much depth. Like we've been studying for the last, say, 12 years on the Gold Coast. We've been around doing the same thing Mondays and Wednesdays and Mondays and Wednesdays. And every time we come here, we're doing something different.
Absolutely.
Unique every time. You never say, oh, I'm sick of the same thing
And
over
this
and
is
over
the
again.
Quran,
Because
over and over again.
it refreshes itself, it's new.
And
it's
you need it
inviting,
too.
It's unique,
You need it. It's like a medicine. Imagine you get this medicine every time you pop this medicine. You go, wow, that was beautiful. I feel fresh and I feel better and I feel great about myself. You need it. It's continuous. That need is repeated. That's why we need to continuously engage Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have engaged submission towards Allah, because the need is repeated every day. Every day we need that to understand and know that we've got more than just ourselves to rely on. We've got Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we can rely on, that when something is happening or does happen in our lives, because we're so impotent, like Brother Ozzy was saying earlier, we're so impotent, so poor, so weak. doesn't matter how much money you have, how much, the little microscopic animal can go into your son or your daughter, God forbid. I don't even want to say what happens to them because it hurts you even thinking about the concept. So you have to rely on who? Who can fix the problem? Nobody but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we're so weak, we have absolutely no power, so we need somebody to rely on that has ultimate and absolute power. Amen.
And the thing is too, brother, like every question to do with faith that here can be answered reasonably. It's not like, no need to name particular groups of other religions, but there's other religions, they just say, oh, this is a matter of just faith.
Just believe.
Just believe, close your eyes and believe, swallow this pill and you'll be right. There's no such thing. Within Islam we believe that the one who made this mind, made this intellect, has done it for a reason. If I'm questioning, if he created the concept of questioning, he's making me question, means there must be an answer that he's provided. Because I find that every time my stomach is hungry, there's food out there. I got eyes, but there's also millions and billions of things to see. So if my mind is thinking, there's got to be answers. So every question that is asked is inside the Quran. This is the perfection and the beauty and the miraculousness of the Quran. Every question can be answered. We never shy away from any question. You say, oh, why is the tree green? And people laugh, there's an answer to why the tree is green. Why are we all different, unique? How come it doesn't look like one another? How come women are different? How come this? Every question in the world has an answer. Not necessarily from myself or him or whatever, but the Quran has an answer to everything. And to go to the right people,
because we're being created
and logical, reasonable.
It's got to fulfill our right. Yeah, it looks like him, doesn't he? So it's got to fulfill us logically, it's got to fulfill us spiritually, it's got to fulfill. When you answer a question, right? Otherwise you won't accept it. Even though you might accept a tiny bit of it, you won't accept it wholeheartedly. If you want to practice something, you got to be able to understand it wholeheartedly and accept it wholeheartedly, don't you? Until you get to that aspect and to that situation, then you'll always be questioning it. So you need something. If, like we were saying earlier too, God doesn't just give you a particular, it doesn't put you onto the earth and say, okay, yeah, you're all on your own. There's all these questions that we need to know. We need to rely on Him. There's all these things that we need to understand. How we're going to live our life and everything. It doesn't leave us in just vain.
I've got to add something too, very important. Let's say, brother, something really unique happened and one or two or three individuals like yourself in the world found the truth and really was, moved by God, and you always did the right thing. What about the rest of all these people doing all these wrong things? They can just turn around and go, God, you guided him, you didn't guide me, it's not my fault. Yeah, I killed this guy, yes I did this, yes I did that, all these wrong things, but it's not my fault. You should have guided me like you guided this guy. It wouldn't be right. So the guidelines have to be universal for everybody, not just for those people to try and seek for themselves and to try and find for themselves. It has to be very apparent, very in front of your face, so that when you do something wrong, God's going to say, didn't I tell you? I told you many times, many places, many warnings, right? And you go, yeah. So if God wants to reward or punish, He has to be absolutely just. Absolute justice is only God, right? He's absolutely just one. So for Him to be absolutely just, He must have guidelines. He must have methods and ways in which he penetrates the message into your heart, into your mind. And then you become responsible. Or else you're not responsible. In accordance to our religion, we say that if a person did not know the truth, then he's not responsible for his actions. Right? He's ignorant, doesn't know anything about it. The guy's living in the Congo. He's never heard of Islam. He's never heard the concept of God. He doesn't know nothing. For example, I'm saying,
they still find it in a conceptual
they still
way.
have inner self, but they're not responsible.
Can I question something? This is one question that I ask with all religions. Is does God want us to fear? Because fear to me is something that I don't want to experience.
Fear Him or fear Him?
No, fear just in general. Like fear obviously is a safety mechanism to get you away from the hungry tiger, but I'm saying fear is fear and fear and the opportunity to have something that fulfills like you can have everything. Here it is. Here is everything. So this is a reason for you to be a good person. Why can't we just be a good person and not have to be scared and not have to have everything to wait for to get to be a good person? Is it not just a reason enough to be 100%? You know what I'm saying? You answered that slightly before. What I'm saying is the fear thing for me is scary.
Yes, of course it's scary. That's the whole concept.
You know what I mean?
Of
But do we need to be feared?
But if we didn't have fear, then we would be scared. Then